Hello everyone, welcome back. We had started the novel 4.4 The Sign of 4. In part 1, we saw the outline and theme of the novel and introduction to the characters. In today's part, we shall see the plot of the novel and the character sketch of the major characters. Dear students, what is the plot of the novel? Plot means story. Plot means the course of events that makes up the theme. This novel has a complex plot, means there are many subplots. Which are the subplots in this novel? Service in India, disappearance of Mary Morstan's father, the Indian Rebellion of 1857, a stolen treasure, a secret pact among 4 convicts and 2 corrupt prison guards. Let us see the plot of the novel. The Sign of 4 is a mystery novel. There are many puzzles. The first puzzle is about the disappearance of Mary Morstan's father. According to Mary Morstan, in December 1878, her father had telegraphed her. He had written that he had returned London from India safely. He had requested her to meet him at the Langham Hotel in London. When Mary arrived at the hotel, she was told that her father had gone out the previous night and not returned. She made all efforts but in vain. She couldn't find her father. She contacted Major Sholto because he was the only friend of her father. But he said that he did not know about Captain Morstan's return to London. It means Mary's father disappeared in 1878. The second puzzle is that Mary received 6 pearls, 1 per year since 1882 from some anonymous sender. Her address was asked in a newspaper and after answering that, she began to receive a pearl. It means after 4 years of her father's disappearance, Mary Morstan started receiving a valuable pearl every year on the same date. With the last pearl, Mary received a letter which remarked that some injustice had been done to her. She was invited to meet the sender of the letter. Holmes discovered that Major Sholto had died in 1882 and that within a short span of time, Mary began to receive the pearls. Means there was some connection of Major Sholto with the pearl and Mary Morstan or her father's disappearance. Mary Morstan gives Holmes a map of the fortress that was found in her father's desk. The map had the names of Jonathan Small, Mohammad Singh, Abdullah Khan and Dost Akbar. Holmes, Watson and Mary Morstan meet the sender of the letter. Who is this person? Thaddeus Sholto. He is the son of Major Sholto. Thaddeus confirms the Major had seen Mary's father the night he died. Holmes had already guessed this. They had arranged a meeting to divide a priceless treasure Sholto had brought home from India. There was a quarrel between Major Sholto and Captain Morstan over the treasure. Captain Morstan was already in weak health since long and now a quarrel. So he suffered a heart attack. While falling due to attack, Morstan's head struck the corner of the table. Sholto was worried that circumstances would suggest that he had killed Morstan in an argument. So Sholto disposed the body and hid the treasure. Sholto suffered from poor health and an enlarged spleen. Probably he was suffering from malaria as a quinine bottle was kept by Sholto's bed. When he received a letter from India in early 1882, his own health became worse. On the deathbed, Major Sholto called his 2 sons, Thaddeus and Bartholomew, and was about to disclose the secret place of the treasure. But at that time, looking at the window, he suddenly cried, "Keep him out!" and fell back and died. Both the sons, Thaddeus and Bartholomew, were puzzled. They glimpsed a face in the window. They couldn't see anybody. The only trace they could find was a single footstep in the dirt. The next day, on the body of Major Sholto, there was a note reading the Sign of the 4. Both brothers, means Thaddeus Sholto and Bartholomew Sholto, quarreled over whether a legacy would be left to Mary Morstan or not. Thaddeus took a chaplet and left his brother Bartholomew. From that chaplet, he was sending pearls to Mary Morstan every year. Now, Bartholomew had found the treasure and so it was to be divided among the 3. Which 3? Bartholomew Sholto, Thaddeus Sholto and Mary Morstan. When Sherlock Holmes, Watson, and Mary Morstan, along with Thaddeus Sholto, go to the family estate, Bartholomew is found dead in his home from a poisoned dart and the treasure is missing. The police suspect that Thaddeus is the murderer of Bartholomew, but Holmes deduces that there are two persons involved in the murder, a one-legged man, Jonathan Small, as well as another small accomplice. Sherlock Holmes traces them to a boat landing where Jonathan Small has hired a steam launch named the Aurora. He tells Watson to borrow the dog Toby from Mr. Sherman, and with the help of that dog, he traces the path of the murderer. With the help of the Baker Street irregulars and his own disguise, Holmes traces the steam launch. In a police steam launch, Holmes and Watson chase the Aurora and capture it. But in the process, the small companion Tonga is killed when he attempts to kill Sherlock Holmes with a poisoned dart shot from a blowpipe. Jonathan Small tries to escape but he is captured. However, the iron treasure box is empty. Jonathan Small claims to have dumped the treasure over the side during the chase. Jonathan Small confesses that years before he was a soldier of the 3rd Buffs in India and lost his right leg in a swimming accident to a crocodile. After some time, when he was an overseer on a tea plantation, the Indian Rebellion of 1857 occurred and he was forced to flee for his life to the Agra fortress. While standing guard one night, he was overpowered by 3 Arab guards and was given 2 options. The first was being killed and the other was to block the way of a disguised servant of a Raja who sent the servant with a valuable fortune in pearls and jewels to the British for safekeeping. Means the second option was to help them murder the man who carried the treasure. The person carrying the treasure was an emissary from a wealthy sheikh. Jonathan Small agreed. The 3 Arabs murdered the man as Jonathan Small blocked his escape. The robbery and murder took place, but the crime was discovered. However, the treasury was not discovered. Jonathan Small was sent to a penal colony on the Andaman Islands. After 20 years, he overheard that John Sholto had lost much money in gambling and cannot even sell his commission. Therefore, he will have to resign. Jonathan Small saw this chance and made a deal with Major Sholto and Arthur Morstan. Arthur Morstan was Sholto's friend. He was also a guard at the penal colony. Jonathan Small bribed these 2 guards, means Sholto and Morstan. He made a deal with Sholto and Arthur Morstan. The deal was that they would help him escape from the prison and in exchange they will get a share in the treasure. Sholto was sent to recover the treasure and in return he would send a boat to pick up Small and his companions. But Sholto betrayed both, means Jonathan Small and Captain Morstan. He stole the treasure for himself. Jonathan Small vowed vengeance and 4 years later he escaped from the Andaman Islands with the native pygmy Tonga, and after they both killed a prison guard. It was the news of his escape that shocked Sholto into his fatal illness. Small came to hear the treasure's location, but he was too late. When he reached Sholto's family estate, he found Sholto dead. But he left the note which referred to the name of the pact between himself and the 3 Arab accomplices. When Bartholomew found the treasure, Jonathan Small planned only to steal it, but there was some miscommunication and Tonga killed Bartholomew with a poisoned dart. Small claims the Agra treasure brought nothing but bad luck to anyone who came in touch with it. How? See here. The emissary means that servant who was carrying the treasure was murdered. Sholto lived with fear and guilt, and now Jonathan Small himself is trapped in slavery for life. Half his life building a breakwater in the Andaman Islands and the rest of his life digging drains in Dartmoor prison. Mary Morstan is left without the bulk of the Agra treasure, but she will apparently receive the rest of the chocolate. John Watson, who has fallen in love with Mary Morstan at the very first sight, proposes her and she accepts his proposal. Thus, we have seen the plot of the novel. Here, I am giving the character sketches of the major characters in the novel. Write the character sketches in your copy. I hope you have understood this part. In the next video, we shall see the summary of the novel.